It's the last question that we'll take this afternoon, and one of the reasons why I wanted to pose this question to Lynn is because this same question has been asked in different ways from many people in different parts of the U.S., both people who hold office, who have held office in the past, but also by just organizers all over the country. And they say, Lynn, we wanted to send greetings. As you know, we're watching the webcast in the office with a group of contacts. And as you also know, we are going to have a conference in the Mexican Congress around the Nawapa Pleno project next week. That conference will enjoy the participation of congressmen, senators, the Nuclear Industry Union, engineers, LIM Mexico, and the basement team. So far, we've organized in different universities, obviously the Mexican Congress, and a variety of other institutions, as well as the population in general. And we're getting very good responses, but we'd like to know what your message is for the patriots here in Mexico and also around the world, who we keep running into, who want to fight. They want to fight for this new infrastructure concept because they understand that it is key to stopping the current crisis and is the first step to building a real future. That isn't the problem. The problem is that they're scared. And they're scared exactly because they do realize that this is a very serious fight. And they recognize that the enemy is trying to stop these kinds of efforts and will do everything in their power to stop these kinds of efforts.
Well, Mexico is a fairly clear-cut policy. In the destruction of Mexico, after the conclusion of the termination of López Portillo, President López Portillo's term, Mexico was taken step by step down. The economy of Mexico was taken step by step down, increasing the intensity of the poverty, the impoverishment of the people, and the social conditions. Under these conditions, certain very wealthy forces inside Mexico, largely British influenced, built up a large drug trafficking operation in Mexico. The reach of that drug trafficking operation now, with its murders, mass murders going with it, feeds upon the poverty of the Mexicans otherwise. This drug trafficking, which is an old British trick, is a British trick, and specifically British, run in Mexico against both Mexico and the United States. And again, the impoverishment of the people of Mexico, by and large, becomes the basis for feeding the drug trafficking. You have people who don't have stable incomes, they don't have stable circumstances, and the drug traffickers move in like locusts moving in on a field of grain. So we must destroy the drug traffic, and which means doing something about our own president we have right now. But we must realize that without the development of a positive economic thrust inside Mexico, you are not going to overcome the problem we have there. You must create an economic basis, which is an economic social basis, and then you must move in as a complementary measure to crush the drug trafficking, which Obama did not do in Afghanistan. Obama sent people in with the instruction to defend the drug trafficking in Afghanistan and for troops to die for the purpose of defending the drug trafficking, British drug trafficking in that country. It's the British problem also in Mexico. That's the source of this thing. That's how this thing was organized. The narcotics traffic in the world is chiefly organized by the British Empire, is one of the major sources of income of the British Empire in various parts of the world. If the United States comes back to itself and we start to rebuild the economy of the world, then you'll find in cases like Mexico, we can win. But we have to give the aspiration of freeing Mexico from its drug addiction, give it a help. We have to create the kind of economic framework which will enable people in Mexico to resist and fight against this disease. And that's the reality. I've seen Mexico destroyed since 1982. I know how and by whom it was destroyed. I know what the forces were. And it's a danger to us all, what's being done to Mexico. So obviously, Mexico has to be defended, but without the development of an economy, the ability to defend Mexico against even the desperation of many of its own people is not possible. We've got to do it. That's one more reason for getting this lunatic Obama out of office.
Those are all the questions that we have time for this afternoon. I think that Lynn has laid out with just remarkable clarity what the task is immediately before us. I think it is extremely important, and I cannot stress to those of you here in the audience, those of you listening via the internet, just how important the immediate period before us is. The period between right now, between this moment and the end of this year, gives us a critical opportunity to do what should have been done during the course of the last 2 years. And I would stress that even more critical than that period, which seems like a very long period of time, is the period over the next 10 days while President Obama is out of the country, which means that there is a certain freedom of discussion without the distraction of his insanity, although I suspect some people are distracted by his insanity across the ocean, but we'll have to deal with that. But the fact is that what is going to be required in this period is a different quality of thought, of activity, of activism, and of support, both from you and from the people around you. If you're listening to the webcast via the internet, then you already are aware of the fact that in the days leading up to the election, there was a very significant upgrading of the website that continues to improve on a daily basis. The website provides you with everything you need to wage this fight and to win it. What it cannot provide you with, and what only you can provide yourself with, is a sense of courage and moral strength to pursue this fight. And I would ask you to dig down deep to do that. And as long as you're digging down deep, you should make a contribution to LPAC. Without any further comment, we've got a lot of work ahead of us in these next days, and I'm sure that we will be getting together soon. But until then, please join me in thanking Lynn.
Be good. Be successful. Be victorious. Okay.